Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be showing you the most broken ODM build that can literally solo a raid in less than 2 minutes. It can also constantly deal 2 million damage, which is actually just insane. But if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Anyways, let's get into the video. Also, thank you my boy Bear for showing me this build. This build could be nerfed in the future as it's so fucking overpowered. Seeing they already did the balance changes, I doubt they'll do another one until update 2.5. Anyways, let's get onto the build. So you want to be running Ackerman, Fritz, or Shiki clan. This is self-explanatory as these clans rule the sky, bro. Let it rip is essential. I'll explain why later. Rage mode is also really good. And the 20% damage in raids and 20% damage in general. And the 15% crit chance. And of course, the extra offensive perk slot is actually just insane. Now we're going to be talking about what perks you want to be equipped with. The first perk is obviously Kingo. Every ODM main should use this perk, as it just gives you an insane amount of ODM damage. The next perk you want to be using is Black Flash. Ackerman and Fritz gets another offensive perk slot, so having Black Flash here is a good choice. This also allows you to deal maximum damage every critical hit. Every 1% of speed gives you a 0.5 crit damage boost, so having Black Flash is essential. You also want to be using Font of Inspiration. Your orders and flares now have their cooldowns halved and effects multiplied by 2 times. This means order rage will actually be insane, as your damage will go up 20% and your crit damage will increase by 40%. On top of that, the cooldowns will be halved, so it will be 31 seconds. So having Font of Inspiration is actually crazy. You could also use the orders mid-air. You won't have to go down on the ground to use the abilities. Now for your defense perk slot, you want to be running Immortal. This is just a solid perk. It gives you 125 base HP and the damage reduction is increased by 30%. And on top of that, injury chance is decreased by 22%. You do not want to be sustaining injuries as an Ackerman because you cannot heal them, as you don't have shift to regen and all that shit. And for the free perk slot, you want to be using Unparalleled Strength. This is another offensive perk, so having 3 offensive perks is actually just insane. This just boosts ODM damage by 25%. Now I'm going to be talking about what skills you want to be running. So the first skill is obviously Rage Mode. All ODM stats are increased by 15%. All skill cooldowns are reset, and on top of that, it gives you some health advantages. The next skill you want to be running is Let It Rip. This can be used to easily break Erwin's leg, making him stunned. Essentially, this build performs its best when the foe is stunned. I'll talk more about that later. They are obviously the Ackerman exclusive skills. Now you also want to be picking up Order Rage. This is in the right side of the support skill tree. The reason why you want to be using this is because it's severely buffed by Font of Inspiration, making the stats of Order Rage not only 2 times but cooldowns half, and on top of that you could use it mid-air. Now you also want to be using Black Flare. These will also be 2 times effective and the cooldowns will be half, so you could just spam this shit. This will mean Erwin will be taking 50% more damage. Effects last 30 seconds, but the cooldown will be reset by then, so you can just keep applying it. This is just fucking insane. Now for the last skill, this will be depending on what clan you're using, Fritz or Ackerman. If you are Fritz, you'll want to be using Titan Shifting. This is obviously for defending Erwin. If you're Ackerman or you don't have shifting as Fritz, you want to be using this, as this will also help defend Erwin by aggroing them all to you instead of Erwin. Now I'm going to be talking about what prestige perks you want to be using. First one is Crescendo. This will allow you to deal 20% more damage to titans that are stunned. So all you got to do is break Erwin's eyes or legs, then you will be dealing an extra 20% more damage. The next prestige perk you want to be running is Flash Death. This will give you iframes when you dash or flip. You want to avoid getting hit, so this prestige perk is valid. As I said, you don't have shift to regen, so you can't heal any injuries. Now the next prestige perk you want to try get is Quake Strike. Each kill increases 1.5% damage. This will allow you to deal even more damage. Now the last prestige perk you want to try get is Gambler. This can make you deal a huge chunk of damage, so I do recommend trying to get this. To calculate how much of a damage boost I have, I'm gonna have to pull out my calc. Now we get an extra 20% damage in raids and 20% damage from our family passives, and we get an extra 40 from the Kingo perk. We get an extra 20% from Order Rage, as our support skills are buffed from Font of Inspiration. Now we get an extra 25 from Unparalleled Strength, and we get an extra 15% from Rage Mode, and we also get an extra 20% from our prestige perk. We will not be including Quake Strike and Gambler, but you could definitely get a huge amount of extra damage with these, but they flusticate depending on how much titans you killed or the luck you have, bro. Now you can get even more by using the artifact. You can can get 30% more ODM damage with the scarf and 24 with the crown. This will make your total 214 extra fucking damage. But then it's fucking doubled if you pop black flare, as you'll be doing 50% more damage because of font of inspiration. So overall you'll be doing an extra 264 damage, which is fucking insane. And this is not even including the crits. So you have infinite potential to do even more damage. Keep in mind the black flash perks makes you do the maximum amount of crit damage, and on top of that, family perks give 15% extra crit chance and damage, and auto rage will make you do an extra 40% crit damage. So yeah, this build is just the best build in the game so far. No build could kill Erwin in 22 seconds.